welcome to a completely different video on my channel. This is part 1 of an 11-part series. It's going to be on darts checkouts. Now, when you go down to the pub whenever you play your league games, you like to play finishing games, which we used to do. We used to start with 61 and go up as high as we could. And it used to work your math, and I used to love it because it used to engage a bit your brain where you thought, do you know what, I could do that in a game. So what I'm going to do in this series is have an 11-part series where I go through 10 checkouts in each video, starting from 61 and end up at 170. So in episode number 1, I'm going to start at 61 and go up to 70. Now, talk about 61 checkout. Personally, I would go treble 15 for double 8. But if at the single 15, you've got the 10 and the 6 next to each other. So 10 would leave double 18 and 6 would leave double 20. However, if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, if you hit the single 15, you can go for 14 and then double 16. But my preferred method is the treble 15 for the double 8 option. Personally, I don't like to go the bull route from 61 because you're aiming to miss a dart. You're aiming to miss the bull and hit the 25. If you hit the bull, you leave 11 left and you need a single number before you hit the double. And I think that's a real roundabout road. I think if you keep it simple and go the treble 15 route, I think you're giving yourself more options for the double you can leave yourself. The next checkout is 62. Now 62, my preferred option from 62 is treble 18 and double 4. Now I know a lot of people will be arguing that they should go the treble 10 route. If you're going to go the treble 10 route, you need to go treble 10, double 16. But if you get the single 10, you should go single 12 for double 20. That's my opinion. I don't like to go for single 10, single 20, then double 16 because you're aiming, if you pull a dart into the treble, then you're bursting the score. So you're giving yourself less options. But if you go for the 12 and hit the treble, then you leave double 8. So I think that's my option from 62. The next option from 63, I'm really split on. I could either go a couple of ways on this, and I'm going to say go the treble 13 route for double 12. However, if you hit the single 13, you could go single 10 for double 20. However, I was thinking about going treble 17 for double 6. If you hit the single 17, you've got the 10 and the 6 next to each other for either double 18 or double 20 if you hit the 10 or the 6, as I said before. The next checkout we're going to talk about is 64. Now 64 for me all depends on how your darts lie in the board. If you hit the treble 16 your first dart, then obviously it's double 8. But if you hit the 16, single 16, if your darts lie flat in the board, I think you should go for 8 for double 20. And if your darts stand up, I think you should go for single 16 for double 16. I think it's all personal preference on which way your darts lie. I know people that like to go treble 8 for double 20. However, I think you should go treble 16 for double 8. I think you give yourself a little bit more options going that route than the other route. Now the next checkout is 65. Now 65, I think you should go for treble 11 for double 16. I know a lot of people say go for the bull, the 25 and the bull, but I think again you're looking to miss a dart. If you go the treble 11 route, you leave double 16. If you miss the treble 11 and hit the single 11, you can go 14 for double top. However, you can also, if you want to go for the treble 15 route, treble 15 will leave double 10. If you hit the single 15, that would be single 10 for double 20. Again, it's a close option, but I prefer the treble 11 because you leave yourself on double 16. The sixth checkout we're going to talk about is 66. Now there is 3 ways you could go for this checkout, but I prefer to go treble 14 for double 12. If you hit the single 14 and then you hit the single 12, you leave double 20. If you go for the bull and you leave double 8, but if you hit the 25, you leave 41, which you can go for 9 for double 16 or 1 for double top. If you go the treble 10 route, you'd leave double 18. But if you hit the single 10, I would go single 16 for double 20. As I said before, I don't like going for a treble like a single which I could burst if I hit the treble. I like to keep it quite simple and leave the target open that I'm going for. So that's why I wouldn't go for single 10, single 20 for double 18 on 66. The next checkout I'm going to talk about is 67. Now 67, I would go for treble 17 for double 8, but if I hit the single 17, I would go for 10 for double top. I do understand that the other way you could go is treble 9. If you hit the single 9, 18 for double 20. However, I don't think that's the way to go. I'll prefer the treble 17 route to double 8 on 67. The next checkout we're going to discuss is 68. Now for me, this is quite a simple one. I would just go straight for the treble 20. That's the place you'd aim most often in a leg. So go straight for treble 20 for double 4. However, if you hit the single 20, then you could go for 16 for double 16 or 8 for double 20, depending on whether that is on the 20. I do see other people go treble 12 to leave 32, or I see people going for treble 16 to leave double 10. Depends your options, but my preferred option is the simplistic route of treble 20 then double 4. The next checkout we're going to talk about is 69. Now 69 for me, I would go for treble 15 and then double 12. If I hit the single 15, then it's 14 for double 20. That's my option if I hit the single, but the preferred route is treble 15 for double 12. So in the last checkout we're going to talk about in this video is the 70 checkout, and the way I would go for this is treble 18 then double 8. If I hit the single 18, I would then go for single 12 and then double 20. I wouldn't go for single 20 then double 16 because you're running the risk of bursting your score from 52 if you hit the treble 20 with your second dart. So that's my preferred option, is to go for treble 18 and double 8. So that's the first part of this video. The next part will go from 71 to 80. Until then, I'll see you then. Goodbye.